Hello friends and family, boys and girls, calisthenics freaks and heavy lifters, basically all my favorite movement enthusiasts. Today we have a nice little deep squat mobility routine, and as usual we're gonna start out with the easiest exercises first and slowly build up more and more intensity. So depending on your mobility, most of these exercises will differ from what I am doing to a certain degree, just because the range of motion is going to be a little bit different. But we're going to start out together very easily. One-sided first, then combining both, and then moving from more static movements into a dynamic stretching routine. If you are ready, we're going to start out like so. Pull one foot in and push your knee down. Once again, depending on your mobility, your foot might be at the front here and you're pushing your knee down here, or you can pull it closer and closer and closer. One thing to keep in mind is to stay fully upright in your upper body, so we have that nice little stretch in our glutes as well. And we're combining, as you can see, ankle, knee and hip mobility through external rotation. So we're going to push down, hold for 10 to 20 seconds. I'm pretty sure I've already been talking for 20 seconds on this side, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, I have a meniscus tear, so I'm going to be very careful with my right leg and slowly increase the range of motion as we go. Very easily, just push it down and hold for 10 to 20 seconds before we switch it up again. So one more time for the left side. This time we're going to work a little bit more dynamically with a handful of repetitions. Extend and pull in. You might even want to cross over like so before once again push downward. Cross over, push down. Rep number 4. There you go. And rep number 5. There you go. And time for a switch. Once again, very careful with the right leg due to my injury. Push down and cross over. I can increase the range of motion slightly. And here I can already notice I am getting close to my pain point, which is why I'm going to stop at this range of motion for now. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. Now we can put both feet together and pull them closer for a static butterfly stretch. So we're actively pushing our knees down, and once again, depending on your mobility, your feet might be here or closer. It's also important to stay upright once again to get that little stretch in our hips and in our glutes. Moving from the static hold for 10 to 20 seconds, pushing down our knees actively, to a dynamic little stretch for a handful of seconds. And you can use this routine every day in the morning. I do most of this stuff in the morning, or at the very least once a day for 10 to 15 minutes. Usually I have a mobility routine that I go through, and I usually also include my upper body. So now we can stretch out, extend both our legs, hands behind our butts, and we're just pushing forward like so, opening up our shoulders and moving that knee into a very small angle before extending again. We're gonna go for 8 reps and push forward as much as you can. You can even move into a reverse tabletop position by pushing your pelvis upward. This is going to strengthen your posterior chain, especially in your spinal erectors and your glutes, leading to a stronger, more active posterior chain. There you go. Number 2. Let's move into number 3. Dynamically, and we're gonna go for number 5, and this time we're gonna hold statically for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull in, because now you can actually pull in both of our legs, and we're gonna work a little bit on our ankle mobility, because this is one of the most important things when it comes to the deep squat. Most people actually don't really struggle with hip mobility or glute mobility when it comes to sitting down very low. It is mostly ankle mobility, because the further you move forward with your knees, the more likely it is that your heels are going to raise, and that is due to a lack of mobility in your gastroc, your soleus and your Achilles tendon, which is why we're going to work on that by flipping over our toes and our ankles, like so. You can use it sideways. You can see we have a small angle here. Make it smaller and increase it again. Make it smaller and increase it again. Now, of course, you can add a little bit of a strength component to this movement. Bring your hands behind your back, and then we can move into complete spinal extension before going back into spinal flexion and our deep squat. So you can do either of these two, but for now we're just focusing on our ankle and even our toe mobility. See to it that your knees are following your toes slightly outwards. And we're going to do 2 more of these. Number 1 and number 2. And now we are in the correct position to do our dynamic deep squat mobility routine. So now you should be able to, at the very least, sit down here or sit down with elevated heels, because as we said, lack of mobility here. But either way, we're going to start by bringing our knees down to the middle, left side, right side, internal hip rotation, and we're going to move on to crossover left side. Right side, we're going to combine left and right side, internal and external rotation. Now you're going to need a lot of core strength to sit up and switch to the other side. And we're always rolling over our ankle, stretching our tibialis, rolling down and moving sideways. Increase the range of motion, bring your head towards the ground, sit up again, and repeat this whole process for the other side, because the deeper we go with our upper body, the more stretch we have in our spinal erectors here. So we're going to repeat just this movement a second time to the left, increasing range of motion, bringing our upper body down. You can even try and pull yourself deeper into a lumbar rotation, like so. One more time for the other side. There you go. Complete rotation in our lumbar spine, down, and we got it. Final exercise, and this is just so we stretch out all the muscles we have been strengthening and working on for the past couple of minutes by just sitting down sideways. Now we want to go into a nice little stretch in our hip flexors and in our quadriceps. Take a deep breath in. And if you can move down to level number 2, which is on our elbows. Take a deep breath in. If you can, move down to level number 3, complete stretch of our abdominals by pushing our hips up, our hip flexors and quadriceps. Take another deep breath in. And if you can, move up to level number 4. Actively push your knees away from the ground, stretching your tibialis, pushing your hips upwards, and holding for 3, 2, 1, and done. So now you have a complete deep squat mobility routine. You can follow along, and that should help you switch into deep squats from any position, be it a standing one or a seated one, because we have built all the required mobility for this movement. If you like the video and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, because we have new videos every single day. Captain Cairo, peace out.